Does anyone else out there hate the turn signals that come on the Yamaha Bolt? I did. I changed them out. Let's see how I did it. I feel like in every video, for some reason, I'm off-road.
First, I have to wash the bike. Also, I practiced tape work on it, and I'm not good at it. Okay, now that I'm thoroughly wet and the bike is all clean and dried off and it looks great, much better than it did before, I wanted to get this blue off of here because I'm not a fan of it. Well, that wasn't too hard. Okay. So it is definitely not perfect, but it is silver now. Now, I'm gonna go change out of these wet clothes, so let's get to that. We're going to actually take off the exhaust and repaint it. I'm probably gonna end up welding, well, actually, I'll just show you, 1 second. Alright, so linked above is a video to part 1 of the exhaust build. In that video, we welded on a bung plug onto some pipe for a step up to the slip-on exhaust and the O2 sensor to fit into. What we didn't do was put a heat shield on, and the issue with that is that I keep burning the crap out of my leg. That was man, that was a zinger. That got me good. No, the exhaust really burned me though. You get the idea. I'm gonna weld some tabs on right here, and then I'm going to bolt the heat shield onto those 2 tabs because this is ugly. And the whole thing needs to be painted because it's like a nice doo-doo gray up here. So we're gonna try to make that all match. The first thing I'm gonna need to do is take off these 2 bolts, and that's gonna be with the 12mm. If you wanted to do it yourself, but this is not a how-to. This is more of like, come make mistakes with me on my bike. See how funny it is when I make them. All right, now let's go up to the front. Nice. Looks like a bazooka. And I've already loosened these guys up. So now I just gotta wiggle it off. There we go. There's one. These 2 nuts. Okay, so I found these 2 nuts and the original stock Allen key screws, whatever these would be, bolts, nuts, whatever, bolts. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reuse these for this heat shield so it's all uniform. And these thread into these perfectly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make these bend around the width so that it pinches them into place so I can just screw them in or possibly weld them onto here. Alrighty, let's hope this doesn't pop off. Okay, so after a ton of hammering, okay, so the camera died, and this is what I did in the meantime. I painted the entire exhaust. It does look a lot better than it did before. The issue is that the bracket that I welded on broke off. You can see the cracked welds there and there. This is not working out. I literally just snapped my weld off in the drill press, and I am... no words. I ran out of welding wire, so what I'm gonna have to do is go get that at another point. I'm gonna do what I don't want to do, and I'm going to do some wiring. I don't like wiring. I don't think anyone likes wiring, but I'm really bad at it. I'm going to be replacing the front turn signals because the rear ones are going to be replaced with a license plate holder that has a brake light, tail light, and turn signals integrated into it. So a couple of problems before we start. These have just a ground and a turn signal wire. The ones that I'm going to take off of there, if my research is correct, they have 3 wires. They have a ground wire, they have a turn signal wire, and they have a running light wire. Fortunately, I don't want running lights. I'd like them to just blend in and kind of go away. I'm gonna try to use these connectors. Let me just dent my tank real quick. You can already see how much cleaner that's gonna look. This This big old bug eye sticking out on the other side.
Get this little stupid thing off there.
So I'm going to be cutting these as far up as I can get them so we can have the stock wiring harness. And I'm going to be connecting the black wire and the brown wire, I believe, to the black and the yellow wire. And then hooking this somewhere. And hopefully not lighting my bike on fire. Okay. So there's one. Okay, and number two. So we're gonna strip these wires and get them all hooked up. The blue one is gonna be the one we don't connect, and I think that's the running light. I think I'm gonna use these. I've heard that using these, if used correctly, is better than soldering on a motorcycle. So we'll see how that works. If it doesn't work, then I have no idea. I have no backup plan. Oops. Well, that didn't work out well. Okay, so this is what it ended up being. You've got the original stock harness, and then I just connected it to these. I'm gonna plug it up real quick and see if it works. If it doesn't, I'll blow a fuse or light my bike on fire. At least you guys will be entertained. All right, here comes the moment of truth. I just set it up here. I don't know where I'm gonna mount it yet. I see no fire. Now it's off beat, but this is gonna get changed out anyways. And that is bright, dude. That is substantially brighter than this. I mean, like, that is like pretty bright, but that's very clearly brighter. I'm actually really happy right now because this is the first wiring thing that I've done that has not had some sort of hang up. They work. Now I'm just gonna put on some heat shrink so we don't have any issues with water. I think I have an idea. I'm going to cut this tab off right here. It doesn't need to be hard mounted to the bike, and I would almost prefer it to be rubber mounted just in case I hit it. Okay, so right now, this is that little rubber tab that I cut. This is the linker. That's the original bolt that held on part of the turn signal. That's how it looks from the front. Very happy with that because that is super clean. Look how clean that front end looks. I love how the exposed, but the bike's now cleaned. Kind of got dirty again because I rode it around the yard. The exhaust is painted. We're getting some stuff going. May not be the wiring I needed to get done, which is the power commander, but these are pretty cool. Okay guys, so I definitely have to clean up now, but the bike is washed, the exhaust is painted, and the turn signals are on. It has been a long night.
So those are the front ones that I replaced, and these are the rear ones that are stock. Substantially brighter on the front. Even though they're so small, they're a lot brighter. So I was worried that during the day you might not be able to see them, but you can definitely see those. So I'm really excited about that.